Well, hello. Welcome once again to Stuff and Things, where I like to talk about stuff and occasionally even things. I'm your good friend Bradley, and today is a Sunday Stuff and Things. And on this Sunday Stuff and Things, we have some stuff and things to talk about, including upcoming videos, things that you can look forward to on Stuff and Things and working. And we'll just give you a little update. I know a lot of people are probably wondering how I'm doing. This will be the last video, I think, in which things are weird. We should go back to just normally scheduled programming. The channel will go on, let me tell you that right now. So let's get into this. All right, so what can you look forward to on Stuff and Things and working? Well, I had done some videos ahead. I'm usually trying to be about 2 or 3 weeks ahead when I'm doing videos just to give myself a little bit of a buffer. The next video that's going to be on Stuff and Things is my first 2 rolls of 35mm film, where I go over the 2 rolls of film that I took. The first 2 I took, one in color and one in black and white, on my Nikon FE vintage film camera. I recorded that before a major life change, so just bear that in mind. And that will be posting this Wednesday. I think it's interesting. I wasn't even sure if the camera was working or not. I mean, it seemed like it was working, but I didn't know if there were any light leaks, if the light meter was working properly or anything like that. So check that out. I think that's going to be a fun video. The video after that, next week, or not, well, I always confuse myself when I do this. The next video on Stuff and Things this coming week is the first 2 rolls of 35mm film, taking a look at those. The following week, we're going to have a blend spotlight on Dunhill Light Flake. Now, this video is the first video I recorded after a major life change, so bear that in mind. The Dunhill Light Flake is an interesting blend. It's one that I never had when it was actually out commonly. It's not out anymore. It was discontinued quite a while ago, and it's supposed to be just a light version of Dunhill Flake. And it's interesting. It's an interesting blend for sure, and I'm still working on the tin, and I have to say, if I was comparing it to Dunhill Flake, I prefer the standard Dunhill Flake, but this has some interesting character of its own. I don't think you could just call it a light version of Dunhill Flake. So that'll be coming up the following week, and then after that, I'm gonna have a video where I'm trying some snacks from Thailand. Some very interesting, very strange snacks. One of the strangest being this. I don't know how to pronounce this, but I think it's like McFadin, the brand name there. And these are kumquat peels. I'd never had kumquat in my life, and I'd certainly never eaten the kumquat rind before. But some interesting Thai snacks, flavors that are pretty much completely unique, or flavors that I had never had before. So that's gonna be a fun video. You should check that out as well. On working, we're gonna have working episode 24. And that's, I can't remember exactly what I called it or if I've even picked the title yet, but it's basically pouring it old school, where we have to pour a footing for a garage, but we're not using a pump or anything. We just have to use a wheelbarrow, kind of finishing up some of the last things that we were doing on that really big foundation that we've been working on working. So lots of good stuff coming out. I'm still plugging away, gang. I'm still here, so please check it out. All right. So there is not going to be an Ask Stuff and Things section of this show. I want to let everyone know that I really do appreciate all the comments and the feedback and everything that everyone keeps sending in. Please don't stop just because I wasn't able to answer all those comments the last couple weeks. I'm going to slowly be working my way back into that, getting back to a normal schedule. Things are still going to be kind of in flux because there are a lot of changes going on in my life right now, and I'm not going to have either the time or the space, or a lot of different things are going to be conspiring to make it difficult for me to keep up with the normal interactions that I would do with you. I'm still working on videos, as you just heard. I've got videos in the pipeline waiting to be premiered on the channel, but as far as really being able to do comments and feedback and stuff, not being quite as active as I would like to be there. But again, that will all come back, and I still really appreciate everyone writing and everything. Second, I'm still here, and I will be. I intend to keep doing this channel. I've been thinking a lot about what I've been doing. Coming up this May, it will have been 10 years since I started the YouTube channel. And when I started it, even though the original YouTube channel, Stuff and Things, even though I thought of it as kind of a hobby, I did have this dream in mind that I could eventually turn it into a viable source of income and maybe something that I could do for a living. It would be amazing to make content, to do videos, to do fun creative things, to interact with a community like you on YouTube and do that for a living. That would just be absolutely amazing. After 10 years, I have gained a lot of amazing viewers. I've had wonderful interactions with so many of you. It's still not viable as a real source of income. So I need to think about things. I need to think about what I'm doing. The support that you guys have shown on Patreon, that some of you have shown on Patreon, has been so appreciated. I can't believe how generous some of you have been. But with a channel like this that is half and half focused on things that can be monetized and the other half being focused on things that can't be monetized, it makes Patreon maybe more important than it would be for other channels that don't focus on those kinds of things. And so I'm not saying that I'm not going to do pipe content, because obviously I still want to do that. It's still a big part of my life, and it's still something that is a big hobby for me. But I do really need to think about how I can make this channel more successful. I need to be able to make a little more income from it. And that doesn't mean I'm going to sell out. It doesn't mean I'm going to be a shill. Just things I need to think about. We've talked in the past about how this channel is very eclectic, and that is actually kind of detrimental to being successful on YouTube. Most of the people who are very successful on YouTube focus on one thing very narrowly, and they only talk about that thing, and they develop a community around that thing. And the one thing on this channel can't be pipes because there's no monetization for those videos. And I know people are thinking, oh, don't be greedy, it's just a hobby, don't you do this just for fun? Yes, but I put a lot of work and effort into it, and it's something that I've been working on for almost a decade now, and it's really something that I would like to do in my ultimate dream world for a living. And with all the life things that have been going on that you have heard about recently, I really need to stop and think about what I'm doing and what I'm spending my time on and how I can best move forward and improve things and just be more successful. I need to be more successful on this platform. So I really appreciate all of you who have expressed support for me. I do want to say that if I see any comments that are negative towards my former partner, I will definitely take those out. I will not have those comments on my channel. I really appreciate the well wishes and people just expressing their support, but I don't want to see anything that's negative in that way. And I think a lot of you would understand that. Again, I've been not great, and I know some people have been worried, just, you know, are you okay? What's going on? I will be okay. I will definitely be okay. But I just need to reassess a lot of things in my life. We're still going to be putting content out on this channel. I still want to be interacting with all of you who support the channel on Patreon, the channels on Patreon. I really, really appreciate it. It means so much to me, and it helps make it possible to do this. I don't want to make this a plea for support on Patreon, but if you guys do like what I do and you enjoy the content that I put out, your support on Patreon is really appreciated, and it will help make it possible to do more of the stuff that you like to see. And take a little bit of the pressure off as far as thinking, do I need to change things? Are there people out there who want to see this stuff? Because it's not super popular on YouTube. And I guess that's a failing of mine, but I know that I have a lot of people who are really, really loyal and supportive. So if you do want to see stuff like this on YouTube, your support on Patreon is really appreciated. I'm going to be moving. There might be some times here and there when I can't do a Sunday video. I'm going to always try to have a Wednesday video, but there's going to be a lot going on in my life, and I have to figure a lot of things out. And then once I do move, I'm not sure what's going to happen as far as like a place to record. Like, a lot of things are going to be in flux, so I hope you all just bear with me. and know that if I'm not answering all the comments, I'm not ignoring you. I do really appreciate the comments coming in. And just all the people who've reached out. You guys are all amazing. You're all fantastic. I love you all, so thank you so much. Other things that are going on in my life, I'm just kind of really taking stock and assessing things and figuring out what do I need to do to improve my life, to improve myself. What are things that I have been ignoring too long? One thing I'm really going to do, and it's something that I would normally do when I move, and I didn't really do last time just because when I moved in to my current apartment, there was just a lot of room. And so usually when I move, I just get rid of a bunch of stuff, but I didn't do that last time. And now, because I'm probably going to be moving into a place that's much smaller, I'm going to have to really be kind of brutal about what I decide I'm keeping and what I'm getting rid of. In that vein, I am going to be selling one of my guitars. Now, don't worry, this isn't like, oh, I'm destitute, I need to hawk all my guitars or anything, but I have too many guitars now. I have 3 electric guitars, or no, I have, 3 electric guitars, a bass, and an acoustic guitar. And that's just too many. I don't get to play them all as much as I would like. And so I am selling my Rickenbacker guitar. If any of you are interested in that, again, this is not me like, hey, buy my fridge freezer kind of thing, like using YouTube. But I know a lot of people really expressed interest in my Rickenbacker when I've done videos on it in the past, and it's a great guitar. So I do have that on Reverb and eBay, if anyone is interested in that. But yeah, I think the main thing is the things that have been going on lately, I'm going to learn from them. And just so people aren't talking about this in the comments, it is because my fiance and I are splitting up. So I don't want anyone saying anything negative about her in the comments. I will remove those comments, and we don't need to have people gossiping about it in the comments or anything like that. It's just, it's something that's happening, and it's something that I'm going to be dealing with. But I've sort of lost my train of thought, but basically I'm going to be okay. I'm going to grow from this. We're going to go onward and upward. Things will keep improving. The channel will keep improving. And I just want to thank everybody for being here and being supportive. I will still be here. I hope you will still be here as well. And we will go onward and upward. But just know there might be a couple little interruptions here and there as I deal with some things that I need to deal with. Thank you. But now it's time for the very best part of the show. Remember, if you would like to support the channels on Patreon, there is a link in the description box below, and it's very much appreciated. It's part of what I'm trying to build here. Like I said, I've always had a dream of being able to do this as sort of my main source of income. It would be absolutely amazing if that could happen. And it would help me keep putting out content that you want to watch. So I really, really appreciate everyone who supports me on Patreon. And every week I like to shout out those who support the channels at $25 or more a month. People like Glenn Dunnington, Jason Buckner, David Gaudreau, Ryan McFadin, Arcturus, Ashes of the Phoenix, and Jonathon Proctor. And of course, the Maniacs, the crazy people who support the channels at $100 a month, people like Bob Magee. Thank you, Bob, for reaching out. Thank you, a lot of Patreon patrons for reaching out to me recently. It's been kind of emotional to read those messages and see that there are such amazing people out there. And then, of course, our Hall of Fame member and dearly departed friend, Peter Straub. Gang, please stay tuned for lots of content to come. There will still be lots of content to come. There will be some changes. Some are definitely for the worse for me personally, but I know that there will be good things that come out of this as well. So I'm going to be here. I hope you will as well. Until next time, until we meet again, I've been your good friend Bradley. You've been the audience. This has been Stuff and Things. I'll see you later. And thanks.